What's up, guys? We are sitting here. Today's Sunday, so no, not 2 weeks out. We're actually 13 days out. Training arms, starting with rear delts here at Legacy Barbell. Yeah, honestly feeling great about where I'm at right now. Not feeling great physically, but if you feel good the last 2 weeks, probably doing something wrong, honestly. So that's par for the course. Sessions have been going really well. Best way to describe, what's going on in the gym right now is my top set strength is still pretty much there, but subsequently my strength and energy levels drop off pretty quick. So right now I'm feeling great. By the end of arms I'll be dragging a little bit. After I get them posing I'll be pretty hammered, and then we'll get on the stairs for 40 minutes. But you know what? Whatever. It's 13 days. I'll eat dog poop for 13 days. That means I'll win. So let's get it. Alright guys, so arm day today. I always start with rear delts on arm day. I'm not going to get into this too much. We've done this exercise a million times, kind of told you all the finer ins and outs of it. I figured something out the last time that I was doing this, and made a big difference for me, so I wanted to share it with y'all. And that is getting this little pad in front of your chest. Reason being, when you're doing these, you want to drive your chest into the pad hard the whole time. Well, whenever you do that without the pad, your face gets in the way for you optimally being able to drive your chest in. See this? See the difference? Able to really drive my chest in the whole time without having my neck cranked. It puts your spine in a much better alignment. It really allows you to drive your chest in and really isolate your rear delts as much as possible. So a little pro tip that really made a difference for me on this exercise. There you go, you fixed it.
Today's arm day. It's kind of a boring day. We do a lot of the similar stuff every arm workout, but Hunter's 2 weeks out and looking gnarly. So triceps, it's just cool. Your arms look cool when you're lean.
First exercise up is going to be dumbbell preacher curl, and I normally don't like to speak in absolutes, but unless you have some kind of bad tendonitis somewhere or some kind of medical issue that prevents you from doing these, this is the best exercise for bicep growth for several reasons. A, it's perfectly braced, there's no cheating with it, which makes it very easy, A, to isolate the muscle completely, and B, really progressively overload it, because there's no like, oh, well, last week I swung that much, and this week I think I swung around the same amount but got one more rep. No, everything's completely locked in, the joint alignment's perfect, the resistance profile's perfect because of that extra incline. It takes away that dead spot you normally get with the dumbbell when it's just hanging. So, like I said, normally not a guy for absolutes, but hey, preacher curl is the best way to train your bicep unless there's something to keep you from doing that, in my opinion. Taking the fat. Yeah. First exercise of the day is going to be just a tricep push down, but we're doing it on a handle that allows us to get the handles out to where they're shoulder width, so we can really focus on keeping everything in alignment and really getting squeeze. You'll notice when we do them, we're hinged at the hips, shoulders are locked down and back, focusing on getting a full extension, then forcing as much elbow flexion as possible at the top. Because your triceps are elbow extensors, so a full stretch means your elbows as flexed as possible, and a full contraction means it is extended as much as possible.
So, second bicep exercise, we're using these prime handles, which are awesome. See how they're shaped, so in the larger part of your hand, so it actually helps you supinate your hand a little bit more and get a little bit more bicep. We use the pad on the back, that way I can actually get my arms and my shoulders a little bit lower, so just the alignment better for bicep curls. So, way that it's shaped, it actually allows you to supinate your hand a little bit better, and it's just more natural, it's a better natural curl. We have the half roller on his back, so then it's easier for him to drop his shoulders down a little bit, and it just makes the entire movement and alignment better.
So this is a cuff tricep extension. Typically, whenever all the gyms are open, I'll train arms at a gym that's got like the closer-ish cable station from Life Fitness or a Free Motion. We'll do them both crossed at the same time. Why? Because I'm very selectively lazy, and doing both arms at one time is better than just one, because it doesn't take as much time. But anyway, I really like this exercise for the same reason we like all the other ones. Great joint alignment, great resistance profile, doesn't hurt my elbows, and I get a great squeeze, contraction, and feel from it. So this is definitely one of the bread and butter tricep movements. Been doing them pretty much every tricep session for like 2 years now. So
he's got low carb brain right now. But he looks amazing. He really does. It's kind of hard to say this seriously with that thing in my hair, you know. You think it's funny, don't you?
Work on those are very nice.
Hit purple Jordans.
Purple Jordans.
Of course, baby. Everyone got stuff from the night gathering today. Typically, most people say season your steak with 3 things: sea salt, black pepper, and like garlic powder, onion powder, depending. I like to do Tony's as well, and then I actually have been enjoying using truffle salt, like black truffle salt instead of just normal sea salt, so that's been good. I've had filet for a meal a day, every day for 5 months now, either filet or sirloin, so at this point, definitely feel like I've got it dialed in on how to cook it, and definitely feel like sometimes I have to change it up just for some variation. So I'm gonna cook these on the cast iron. The way I do them is like really high heat, get like a 2-minute sear on each side, gets a really nice crust, and then pop them in the oven at 425 for like 5 to 6 minutes depending on how thick they are. These are pretty thick but not that big, so I'll probably go like 5 minutes with these just because I know everyone even likes their steaks more on the rare side of things. Salt is crucial to be able to get a pump. I put a lot of salt in my pre-workout meal. I eat a lot of salt on all the rest of my meals. Going into peak week, it's one of those things you like to be able to reduce your sodium intake, not completely cut it out. Completely cutting out your salt will be a disaster for most people who end up going flat, not being able to get a pump, no matter what you do, especially if you use a bunch of diuretics and cut your sodium really hard. There's like no hope for you. Or at least that's been my experience with what I've heard. I've never made that mistake, fortunately enough. I mean, maybe 15 with the hot sauce. It's cucumbers, cilantro, onions, green onions, and hot sauce. So, I mean, really nothing. Yeah.
Guys that are better at it, they only get there because they have a level of discipline and effort and time that they put in the gym. I mean, a couple weeks ago, went to Dallas, and I have never met before John Azari and Joe Mackey, and we went out to dinner, and the place closed, and we hung outside. Those guys and Hunter and I hung outside and talked until like almost midnight, just hanging out. And first time I ever met those guys, and we just clicked just because we have common interests, and that's happened a lot. A lot of guys that I've met through competing become good friends with just because of competing. So that's what's really cool about bodybuilding. Getting to do this with my best friend every day is cool. I'm really more excited for Hunter doing well than myself, to be honest with you. It's really cool watching his progression. We've been doing this long enough and together enough that we both think very similar. And because we're so obsessed with this and because we're so passionate, I feel that we've developed a standard way to develop muscle. We're both really, really good at specifically growing muscle on people. We've all had a bunch of clients, and a lot changes between client and client, but there's definitely a few things that are standard about it. And a lot of it is having a good eye and understanding when to pull the back, when to push harder. I mean, my one client, Kobe, he got better basically because I lowered his volume, I cut his cardio in half, and I gave him more food. So it's not always the answer to just push harder. Sometimes it's pull back, and we do have a good eye for that.